and welcome back to another episode of the Bull in the Cup podcast. I'm your host, David.
And I'm the co-host, also David, David's dad. All right, welcome back, everyone. It's been a few months off since Season 2, but work and school has been busy. And we're excited, though. We have a good Season 3 set up for you here, starting with a hot topic. We're coming out of the gates with a hot topic, and it is all about, this last month, about this effort by Trump to purchase Greenland. And we don't get into politics here on this show. We get all into what's the economic impact. And so Greenland's the world's biggest island, and we have to ask ourselves, well, why is there this sudden interest in Greenland? And of course, there's been really two interests. It's been obvious some military interest there in putting some U.S. bases there and keeping it from China and Russia, but also some economic interest in the potential natural resources there, with some rare earth minerals that we may have access to. So that's the interest in Greenland. But we want to say, what's, is there a positive impact of us buying this? Is there a negative impact of us buying this? So that's what I wanted to talk for a minute about today. The negative is that we've already seen some of the negative, is that in an effort to get Greenland, Trump threatened tariffs on some European countries if they wouldn't support his plans. And we saw immediately a tumble in the stock market. And that's something we've kind of seen play out over the last year plus, that tariff wars are bad. And so anytime we're threatening tariffs and having return tariffs threatened, it's bad for the economy. So that's not been good. But there's been some potential good if we actually did get more access to Greenland and get access to its natural resources, because we do have a fight with other countries going on now over rare minerals. And there's magnets that are needed in electric vehicles and turbines and robots and all these tech advances that we're seeing where we need rare minerals. And so it's possible we could have more access to these minerals if we do get access to Greenland. So that's what's been in the news lately, and some positive and negative impacts. What are your thoughts, Dave? What do you want to talk about the first episode?
Well, some new things I want to talk about this time are the stocks we picked last season. There were around 3 stocks we picked last season that really jumped in value. And I want to talk about why for each one. And first off was Callaway. Callaway wasn't really a big decision. It was just the fact that Callaway is a really big company and they're not going to go out of business, and the fact that they were like as low as $6 and like a record low, they were gonna go back up, so you just buy it then. There wasn't really much other thought in it. But next up is Tesla.
Yeah, let me pull up the Tesla stats, because Tesla, my goodness, it's funny because I always thought Tesla would have a hard time maintaining that high value, because as we saw the tax credits expire, so people couldn't get a tax credit now in 2026 when they buy a Tesla. We're seeing the sale of EVs, electric vehicles, go down, and also with more competition in the marketplace. But we're just seeing a massive jump continuing in Tesla stock. I'm pulling the stats up right now for Tesla, but it's at $442 a share at the moment. And if you go over the past year, it's really gone up almost $200 a share. And so I think there just continues to be a lot of excitement and hype with Tesla because of its possibility of pairing autonomous driving of its vehicles with the ability for people to make money by using their Teslas as autonomous vehicles for others to drive. So that just continues to keep that stock soaring. And then also Palantir did well, right?
Yeah, I feel like the reason Palantir is doing so well, as the world is more shifting to technology and everything that Palantir is doing, it really just helps the stocks do well, because for Palantir it makes a lot of its money from the Pentagon, who added more money and added to their budget of which they would spend in Palantir, as well as they were just doing really well with their USB port sticks and AI chips.
Yeah.
So basically which is why they increased their budget for Palantir.
Yeah, and so I'm really glad you said that about the success that Palantir's had because of kind of that forward-looking, futuristic-looking ability of them with the AI chip market, and because that's what really I think is going to drive a lot of my stock picks now, and what we're seeing since the start of the year is this interest in natural resources because of the need for certain natural earth resources and mining those resources in order to create not just the chips, but the magnets and the different components to the technology we're going to have going forward. So as we pivot now and talk about our stock market game, like everybody's used to, where each episode we pick a stock going forward. I'm thinking between MP Materials or Critical Metals are the two I've been looking at. MP Materials is the company that runs the only rare earth mines in the United States. There's a California mine that yields. If everybody wants to laugh at my terrible pronunciation, but they help mine neodymium and paraxylonium, which I probably mispronounced, but those are used again for magnets in electric vehicles and wind turbines, and so it's the only one company in the United States, and so it's fascinating. I'll pull it up now. If you look up MP Materials, and then you also look up Critical Metals as well, we'll talk about, but MP Materials is at $73 a share, and really since January 1st, it was $50 a share then, so it's up $23 a share on the year. So just quite a jump because again, there's this interest in these natural resource companies. Critical Metals is the other one, which is at $21 a share today, and at January 1st, it was at $7 a share. So that's just tripled in value on the market, and they're focused specifically on building a plant in Greenland. So that's garnered them a lot of interest. Now I think we're far away from actually mining in Greenland because we actually don't have any infrastructure there. That's what is there's a lot of potential there with Greenland, but there's no actual infrastructure to do any mining there. So it's just getting in on something early that could be prosperous down the road. So Critical Metals is a little bit far down the road for me. So I'm gonna pick MP Materials this week, the U.S. based company that actually has an actual mining location in the United States.
Okay, well, for me, I'm going to do something like what you did, but I'm going to be going with iShares Silver Trust. Basically, throughout the past 2 or 3 years, silver and gold have skyrocketed so much in price because of their need. In these new technologies, they actually need silver and gold parts. So as we go forward into the AI system, we're going to constantly be needing more and more silver and gold.
That's an excellent one, and I'm looking up your stock right now. SLV is at $97 a share.
Within 3 months, it almost went more than doubled.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, my goodness, what a jump for them. Fascinating that it all comes back to these what's rare and who has access to it, and be it still gold and silver, but also now other rare earth minerals that we need more than ever as technology advances. So this was fun. It'll be interesting to watch as the Greenland story unfolds, and it'll be interesting to watch as there's a lot of excitement now, whereas prior years were the years of crypto and software tech. This seems to be the year of rare earth minerals are taking off. So we'll continue to watch those stocks. That's all from me today. I look forward to seeing you guys hearing us next week. If you have any stocks to recommend, send them our way, and we'll give you a shout out on the podcast.
Yeah, see y'all next time. Bye.